What's up, YouTube? Spook Show Lucky here with another video. I actually had a video request by FilmJunkiie. I had posted my trailer to YouTube earlier and he commented, "Awesome channel, trailer bro. I watch all your videos. I dropped a like. Also, I was wondering if you could make a video about your top 5 favorite horror movies ever. I'm really interested. I just made my top 5 favorite horror movies ever on my channel. I was wondering if you would give it a watch." So I went and watched his. I liked his video as well. So that's FilmJunkiie. Thanks for the request. And I kind of started thinking about it. So I'm going to do this in category going from top 5. So we'll start at 5 and go up to my number 1 favorite of all time. So number 5 is going to be Freddy versus Jason. I really love this movie. It was my favorite Jason. It was pretty much the last time we see Robert Englund as Freddy. It had good comedic relief and good character. You know, the crossover was awesome. I thought that was totally unique, especially in '03. The soundtrack was amazing for the film. I actually rocked it out every day in school. So this was one of my favorite films. Now, of course, I love Freddy and I love Jason. I love all the Nightmare on Elm Street stuff and all the Friday the 13th stuff. But I think that this one was more made for fans. You know, the crossover was just a huge thing. And, you know, they were the first people to do it. And it's just something that was really hard to top for me. So I think that this was a very important film. Some people don't like it. Some people think it ruined things, whatever. But The Versus was a great movie. And that's my top 5 favorite. So moving on, we're going to go to number 4 here. And how am I going to do this? All right, number 4. It's going to be The Devil's Rejects. I think that this film, it was the Rob Zombie film, came out in 2005. It was very important for horror when it came out. You know, everything had seemed pretty stale and stagnant in '05. And I remember, I mean, and here, let me just to check it out. One second here. In '05, you had movies like Saw 2 coming out, which was good. The Descent, which is alright. Amityville Horror, Exorcism of Emily Rose, Wolf Creek. Hostel came out in '05, House of Wax. So, you know, it seemed to me like it was a lot of the same stuff. This movie was shock and awe, and it's exactly what the horror industry needed. And some people have their own, you know, spins and twists on it, and some people love it, some people hate it, but I liked it a lot. Also, House of a Thousand Corpses, I loved it as well. I think The Devil's Rejects was a little more significant and just a better film in Rob Zombie's career to me. So that's my number 4 pick. Moving on to number 3. Sorry guys, it's storming here. I'm going to have to go with The Evil Dead, and this is my series. This is actually the Necronomicon. It's latex. It's a pretty cool little set here. But The Evil Dead, and you could pick any of these, just the whole series in general, you know, but Evil Dead was, you know, the first time we see Bruce Campbell as Ash, and I think Ash is a very significant character, and people don't give it a lot of credit to the Evil Dead or Army of Darkness or Evil Dead 2 series, and, you know, now you have Ash versus the Evil Dead, so that whole kind of creation of those characters, the whole comedic kind of horror flick that it turned into was just really cool how they spun everything. So I really enjoy those films, and you know, I think that it was very important for horror, and that's my number 3 pick for sure on my favorites. And these are videos that I can watch, you know, every day, all day, whatever, in order, and just keep going. So my number 2 pick, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This 1974, this Tobe Hooper, this movie was pretty much revolutionary at the time. People hadn't really, you know, experienced much of this kind of brutality on screen, and I know people walked out. I mean, it was very shocking. To me, it was very scary, and I've talked about this before. You know, this is the most realistic movie that I can imagine. You know, so Freddy comes at you in your dreams. You know, the chances of that happening aren't very good. You know, it wasn't ever anything that scared me. You know, and I would always root for the bad guys. And in this one in particular, I mean, I could see this happening. You know, this is very realistic, and it was based off of Ed Gein, who was a serial killer in real life and did some of the things that they portray in this film to actual people. So, and that's where they got the whole skin wearing, you know, because he did that. So, this isn't something that's far-fetched from the truth. So, I thought that this was really the most terrifying movie to me. And I think it's a very important movie in film, and it's definitely my number 2 pick. And, you know, my list isn't, before I get to number 1, my list isn't so much on what movies have done for the industry as much as what they've done for me. And my views on it. So I don't want to get that confused either. Now, my next pick, and what's probably my favorite horror movie, it has to be my number 1 pick. I want to show it to you in a second, and there's a bunch of reasons why I picked this movie. It was not just something I do like to watch, which I do enjoy watching it every time I've seen it, but it's something that was very important to the film industry in general, and pretty much set the tone for every horror movie you've ever watched since. And that is going to be Night of the Living Dead. This is George Romero's first film that he ever did. This was back in 1968. It's been voted by Entertainment Weekly one of the scariest movies of all time. And this movie was super significant. Not only watching it, the whole black and white feel, it was fantastic. The plot was good. The acting was good. But you know, this movie, like I said, it was made in 1968. All right, and so back in 68, you're talking about still during a time of segregation, of racial tension, of civil rights movement. And here you got this film, you know, that comes out with a black protagonist. And that was Dwayne Jones, the actor in this film. And how great was that? People rioted over this movie. It was crazy. And then when they went to theaters, they didn't know what to think. They had never seen anything like that before. They thought it was going to be a horror film, that they were just going in. And this thing came in and just took everybody out. Took the chairs out from underneath them. They didn't know what the hell to do. Go get popcorn or go change their pants. So I think that this is the most iconic movie, in my opinion, in film history. Without this movie, I think that we wouldn't be where we are today. This was a very, very important film. And it's such a great movie, and it's so scary still to this day. I mean, I could watch it and still get chills. And it's not just, you know, the film and the zombies and whatever, because there are scarier zombie movies out there, but it's just the set, the tone, and how they made the film. And I honestly think it was George Romero's greatest piece of work. I think that that's what put him, his first film, instantly into legendary status. You know, because it just wasn't something that had been seen and done at the time. So he was really a revolutionary there in doing this. So that has to be my number 1 pick of all time. So, you know, guys, what do you think? What's your favorite top 5? You know, list it down in the comments below. I'd love to see what you think and what your favorite things are. If you agree with my list, give it a like, thumbs up. Tell me what you think is better than my picks and why. You know, I'd like to hear from you. So, guys, that was just a quick little 5 top favorite movies of all time. And let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, and we will catch you next time.